Hey guys, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you guys are. I hope you're having a great time, and I hope today's been really good for you as well. It is the first stream of the new year, so happy new year to everyone. I'm going to turn those notification volumes right down. Give me 1 second, guys, because I didn't realize how loud they'd be when I changed the logo. For some reason, it's changed the volume. Let me see if I can save that. Okay. There we go. That's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. I'm going to turn them right down to 2% volume. I don't know if they're as loud for you as they are for me, but they sound pretty loud here. Okay, let me fix this. Sorry guys, I should have done this before the stream, but hey, you know what it's like. There we go. All fixed. Right, so let's see who got first. So Cordo's got first with 5. Hey man, good to see you, dude. Thank you very much for being here. Hugo's here as well. Cordo says, damn, we're live. Anaki's also here. He says, evening, Jay. Happy New Year. Looking forward to hearing what has come for PT in 2022. Yeah. So thank you very much for Anarchy. I appreciate that. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you had all a great festive period, whatever you celebrate. And that your New Year was great for you as well. We'll get to what's coming for PT in 2022 soon. Crafted Cable says, hey guys, hope everyone has been enjoying the holidays. Yeah, I've got a couple more days left. I'm back in the workshop from the 5th of January. Apart from today when I'm here, of course, because this is in the workshop. But you know what I mean. Back at work. Bolbin says, waterboard to start the year with. Yeah, the 760. I've been looking forward to this one for a long time. Demon Tech says, everyone wants to see how I had your plans for 2022. Yeah, there was a typo in my Instagram update. Instead of here, I typed hard. Don't know why. Typo. It's whatever. I was halfway into a bottle of wine at that point. Hoping for more info on Jae Builds. Yeah, info coming soon. Maybe not today, but maybe a little bit of snippets for Jae Boards, J Series boards. Pew Pew Laser, subscribe for 7 months. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Hanslow is here as well. Han Solo, sorry. Oasins is here as well, saying test. Wow, test. Nice. Please Pet Dog says hello. Hey man, good to see you. Karcher subscribed for 7 months as well and said good evening, Giant Chat. Hey man, good to see you, my dude. Gentism says, I have this board too. Been sitting in a box waiting for when I'm brave enough to try my hand at soldering. Cool, man. Well, you'll see me do mine today. Illusory Ennui says hello, everyone. Great username, by the way. Great username. And Aos is here as well. He says hello, hello. I think you've DM'd me and Aos. If you have, I'll be getting back to you soon. My DMs have gone nuts over the past couple of weeks. Neon Ninja as well. EGZX as well. Saying Happy New Year. Hey man, Happy New Year to you as well. Gecko says Happy New Year as well. Hey man, hope you're having a great time. Phil is here as well. Hey man, good to see you, dude. Harsha's here as well, man. Hey Harsha, good to see you, dude. He just subscribed with Prime. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Lex subscribed for 6 months and said hi, everybody. Guys, thank you so much for all these bits and subs and donations. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I don't deserve this. Zunet says Happy New Year. True man. Omar says hello, everyone. Sid Rose is here as well. Metatron. Wow. Snicket. Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. Poncho Frido says they've subscribed for 4 months. Sorry, they've subscribed for 4 months. Currently on a 3-month streak. Peter Poppins is here as well. He says hi, Jay, Happy New Year. How you doing? Chuck Death as well. We need more info on J Series boards. Yeah, more info is coming soon. They're kind of undergoing a redesign at the moment. Raging Asian. Hey man, good to see you, dude. Good to see you. We need to do some racing at some point soon. We'll get to that. You waited for me to get back from vacation. Right, fair enough. Yeah, 5th of January, I'm back from vacation. 5th of January. Metatron says, I noticed you're stocking Switch tripods. Can I get your opinion on them if you have one? I've got to try some with some Milmax PCB to close the gaps more. I haven't tried them personally as yet. So I do have quite a lot in stock. We've got a few hundred packs in stock, but I haven't tried them in a build as yet. From what I can understand, they're going to dampen the sound of the Switch. Whether if you're just using them to fill a gap, probably not something I would want to do with them. But yeah. I think if you're using them for sound, then it will improve the sound depending on the switches you're using and the case and everything else. Harsha, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, dude. You built yours about a week ago. Great board, really enjoying it. Nice, nice. What up, everyone? Phil says, wait, me or is there another Phil in chat? No, just you, man. Just you. As far as I can tell, there's only one Phil in chat right now. Hey, Happy New Year, says Lyophilum. I'm going to guess that's how you pronounce it, Leo or Leopharlum. Yeah, thank you very much for being here. So yeah, we're going to build the Saturn 60 today. We're going to talk about Prototypist and how we're going to change over 2022 and what we're going to try and focus on. And we're also going to talk about what it means for streams and things like that as well. Just Leo. Right, cool. No worries. I try. If I butcher things, I apologize. I do try. Thank you so much, everyone, for all the follows as well. We will have new sound notifications next week. Laligator, hey man, good to see you. So excited to hear about the Blackout Edition. Yeah, okay, well, let's start with that then. Let's start with JO2 news. So for those that you've been following, we were going to do the Blackout Edition of the JO2. That's still the plan, but we're actually in the process of redesigning the JO2 itself. So right at the back end of last year, just after we'd started to talk about the Blackout Edition, Prototypist kind of gained some unexpected capabilities with some new staff working remotely, which includes in-house CAD design. So we're actually going back and redrafting some of the designs that we've had done historically, that we've commissioned out to third parties and things like that, and we're just reviewing where they are, and we're starting to do some different things from the ground up because we want to just change how things are manufactured, change how things are machined. We want to do that for a few reasons. One, products evolve and we evolve with them, and we want to change things up and make things new. Two, we know now how to manufacture parts in a way that is much more environmentally friendly, and we can make some changes to designs to be able to do that. And when we design things from the ground up, we can accommodate that much more easily as well. And three, because we want to start using new materials. And new materials mean new manufacturing techniques, which means new ways of designing stuff as well. So, JO2 Blackout Edition is happening. There'll be some sneaky screenshots soon. I don't have any dates for you as yet. But yeah, it's happening. It'll be the JO2 Rev 1 maybe. We might just skip straight to like Rev 2 and redo the JO1 at the same time. I'm not sure yet. It all depends on how this goes and how the prototypes go for it as well. So, still coming soon. Very, very soon. So that's the JO2 news. There's some other boards coming as well. We've just ordered prototypes of some new boards just yesterday. So, hopefully I'll have some of those to share on stream very soon. And I think the idea is that before we start producing the boards, we'll just show you a build stream of the prototypes. And then we'll see whether there's any demand for that type of product. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But lots and lots coming. As well as that, so the other things that I want to do with Prototypist this year is, as most of you guys know, we're fully carbon neutral. The whole company is completely carbon offset and has no carbon footprint. And we offset the footprint of every product we sell for 5 years. So if you buy a keyboard or a keycap set or anything else from us, it's already had the carbon footprint offset for an assumed lifespan of 5 years. We've tried to build that in for manufacturing as well, and we're working with some really cool suppliers that are enabling us to do that. We've moved so that most of our packaging across 2021 is now completely recycled and recyclable, including all the paper, the bubble wrap that we use. You guys have seen it's the cardboard corrugated bubble wrap instead of the plastic one, all of the boxes and everything else. Including even down to the tape. So there's no bleaches involved or anything else. This is why all of our packaging is brown. It's just because that's the way it is. But we're actually going to be bringing some of that in-house as well. So some of that capability towards the middle of the year should be started to bring it in-house, so we can start to make boxes and packages. Instead of having like 3 different box sizes, we can start to make some boxes up to our own size from pure card stock that we manufacture in-house. As well as that, all of our current packaging that we recycle here on site, that we send off to a company to recycle for us, that's going to come back into the company as different sheets of paper that we can then do different things with. So we'll be able to laser cut and create our own business cards. We'll be able to create our own cardboard sheets, and we'll actually be actively recycling here within the workshop a lot of our packaging or waste materials as well, which is super cool. That's also going to extend to plastic stuffs as well. So when we're cutting plates and things on the laser cutter and we're making plastic, all of those parts were already recycled anyway. But we're actually going to be recycling those and using them in-house. So we're going to start making like a little odds and ends that you can buy for £1 or £2 here or there, like little key rings with the Prototypist logo on and stuff like that. And we're going to make those from recycled bits of plastic, which is really cool as well. We're going to try and, so instead of just being carbon neutral, we're going to try and move to be completely waste free almost, like even down to things like coffee grounds. We have like an allotment just around the back here, so we're going to now deliver all of our coffee grounds to the gardeners so they can compost them, plus anything else that's compostable as well. So we're really working to try and be completely not self-sufficient, because we can't because of the products and materials we need, but to recycle as much as we can. So yeah, so that's what we're trying to do. And that's where we're going to try and go. And hopefully it's going to work out. We've got plans in place. It's not cheap. It's very expensive. But currently all of your tips and everything else when you order, guys, was going to go towards that as well, funding it as well for the first 6 months of the year. So Thank you very much to anyone who does drop a tip, because that's where it's going to go to, helping us be as carbon neutral as possible and recycle as much as possible as well. Making things yourself also helps reduce emissions from shipping. Yeah, so we currently have a really good deal with DHL where everything that we ship from pretty much anywhere in the world to Prototypist, and anything that we ship out is already carbon offset. But yeah, it's actually, if we don't have to ship it, that's of course even better than offsetting it, right? That's the ultimate kind of place where we want to get to. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes, but more news on that in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. Yeah. As well as that, I kind of want to bring back my weekly blog. So one time, very, very early on when I started Prototypist, you guys might remember this. They're all deleted now, unfortunately. But I did do like a weekly blog. And at first it started as updates. But now we have the Notion pages for updates and everything else. So I want to try and bring that. It won't be weekly, but I'm going to do at least once a month, bring back a blog post, which is just going to be about my thoughts on the industry, where the hobby's going, difficulties, challenges I've had, things we've done to overcome them, just to try and give you guys an insight into what we do. Because like, I know I share a lot on Instagram, but I feel like I can always be more open with you guys. You know, you guys are customers, you're friends, you're, part of the Prototypist extended family, as cheesy as that sounds. I kind of want to make sure that people have access to as much as possible. So we're definitely going to do that. So more blog posts detailing just my life in keyboards coming in the next couple of months as well, starting with one which should post around the end of next week, so probably in about a week's time. Penguin Droppings, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great New Year's Eve and Christmas and everything else if you celebrated Penguin Droppings. And I still think that your screenshot, Penguin, of the JO1, your image of the JO1 with the white and the brass pen rail and everything is still my favorite shot of the JO1 that I've seen in public. So thank you again for sharing that. And welcome, raiders. Welcome. So yeah, let me turn the volume down on the raid. I wasn't expecting any raids today, so I wasn't expecting the volume to be so high. Let me turn that down. There we go. Let me update the GIF for it as well. There we go. All fixed. All fixed. I love that board. It will die with me. I hope you know this. Well, I appreciate it, and I know it was the first thing you ever wanted when you got into the keyboard hobby. So yeah, I'm glad you appreciate it, Penguin. And thank you very much for the raid. I really, really appreciate it. Let me know what you were doing in your stream, because I didn't even know you streamed. So this is something I need to do, is follow you and work out. Let's catch up with chat and see what we're talking. And this is prototypes. Yes, prototypes. Oh my god, we have the same chair. This is the Nui chair, if that's the chair you have. So cool to hear about your commitment to the environment. Super important stuff, and it makes sure I'm going to be hopping on the next group buy. Thank you, Jae Builds. I really appreciate it. Like even down to, I collect cars as well, which is, one of my things. But even down to just trying to do as many miles now in the Tesla, so it's environmentally friendly as possible, is something that's just key on my mind. Every time we get into another car, I constantly think, do we need to be using this car, or can we use another one? So it's something that really, really does resonate with me a lot, and I hope that it's something we can do. Poncho Frito says choo choo. Thanks, man. Jae Builds, thank you so much for the Prime subscription as well, dude. K Konako, making things yourself also helps reduce emissions from shipping. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. Yeah, really like the carbon offset aspect. Hoping the best for you all. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. More businesses should have that commitment. I think everyone should have that commitment. It's not about businesses. We've only got one environment, and we only have one chance to keep it right. So even my private life, we offset everything, the carbon we can. So yeah. Instagram stories are great. Thank you. They'll come back next week properly, and when we get back to the workshop on the 5th, you'll start to see them come back. Very excited about the new pre-orders. What's the date that they're going live? No, Entity, I have no dates for you as yet. There's lots of pre-orders going live. I think we've got 50-ish keycap sets going to have pre-orders added at some point soon. They'll probably be spread over the first couple of months of the year. So some point soon is all I can tell you. Crafted Cables, thank you so much for the subscription as well, man. Thank you. Links to the JO1 pick. It should be on the Discord server. I think Penguin dropped it there. Yeah. Glad to see the office looking cleaner. Yeah, the office is tidy for a change. If you haven't caught up on the Instagram stories, I'll probably share some pictures, but the office is 100% tidy now. It's better. Laser Banny says, love your streams. Thanks for the great customer service. Have 2 boards on the way and can't wait. Congrats, man. Congrats. Looking forward to grabbing that Bing Suit Extra once the pre-orders go live. Thanks for the update on Discord, Jay. Yeah, that's one of the sets that's in. I think there's between 30 and 50 key sets that we're going to put pre-orders up for. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. What soldering iron do I use? Was thinking on getting the pine cell from Pine 64. Yeah, I use one very similar to that. So this is the one that I use. This is the TS100. If the camera decides to focus on it. Come on, camera. There you go. This is the TS100. The pine cell is very similar to this. It's a great bit of kit. Not sure if this is really a place to start such a debate, but if you want to state the planet, you should watch Seaspiracy. Yeah, or Seas Piracy, Seaspiracy. Me and the wife watched that about a year ago during lockdown, and we were blown away by it. Yeah. Will there be MW002 pre-orders? No, because that set's just about to ship to me, so they'll just be in-stock extras. There's no point in having a pre-order when something's on the way to me. Pre-order's kind of like in the period where it's manufacturing, not coming in to me. So there you go. Hoping to get myself an Icky Aurora Winter Breath this year in extras. Sad I missed out on the group buy. Yeah, we'll have extras for those. We don't tend to do pre-orders for keyboards, just key sets. But yeah, we'll have everything that we sell has extras. So any group buy that you've missed, we will always have extras, even if we don't have a pre-order for it. So there you go. The Raging Ager says, what's the best UK circuit and why is it Knockhill? Knockhill's a great track. Knockhill's a great track. I think if I had to pick, I'd pick Donington Park as my favourite. Or maybe Rockingham. Donington Park probably, though. Yeah. Your J1 still unbuilt? Demotex, you need to fix that, man. You need to fix that. Spiderusman says, what is your desk called? This is just a piece of wood from IKEA and it's sat on 2 ounce straws. Wow, that's another one I need to drop the volume for. Penguin Droppings, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Thank you so much. Penguin. Ugh. Penguin, you were the person that actually made me want to do a JL1 Rev 1. It was never going to happen until you started talking to me and trying to convince me to do it. Yeah, so thank you so much for that. Thank you more than I can tell you. Like, it just means the world to me that you forced me to do it. So thank you. I need to fix all of these. Like I thought I'd got all of these. I thought I'd got all of these volumes. I thought I'd fix them. Let me just go through these. I thought I'd done it. Okay, I think we've got them all now. Yeah, we've got them all now. There we go. But thank you so much, Penguin Droppings. Latheri, Hugo, Metatron, Dulcemoge, and Keeb Noob, you all got subscriptions there. So thank you so much, Penguin. Happy New Year. I hope you have a really good day. Thank you so much, Penguin. We have any Chaos Theory Switch extras? I was out of work when in group buy. Everything has extras. Everything has extras. So will always be some extras. What did we do to deserve the abomination that is Snetterton? We got Silverstone, so we had to take the good with the bad, right? That's probably what it is. Looking to the JO2 Blackout Edition this year. Yeah, Xander Cannon, if you missed some information, there was some news dropped right at the beginning of the stream. You might want to go back and watch that. What coffee am I drinking? Do you know what? I'm actually drinking really crap coffee because it's whatever was left in the bean hopper over Christmas and New Year, so it's a bit stale and it's not the greatest, and I can't remember what it is. But I didn't want to open a new bag of beans when I'm only here for one day. So I'm just sucking it up and having terrible beans. JO3 will happen this year. JO3 will happen this year. Even if nothing else does, JO3 is already in the prototype phase. And it says my JO1 and JO2 are still both unbuilt. Hoping I'll have time this year. Maybe I'll start streaming since probably they're the only way I'll have time between work and family. Yeah, I only ever get boards built for myself during streams. I build maybe 30 boards a week for customers, but like I get one build a week for me, and that's on a Sunday. I don't think they'll... We may be changing away from the J0 nomenclature as well, so I expect that to change at some point in 2022. So it won't change with the JO3, but boards subsequently after that, the J series will be done and there'll be something that replaces it. And a JO numpad with a cute little pen holder. What's your recommended hot swappable? So for me, I have a Clipper by Mechanisk. I have a HS60 PCB in it with a POM half plate, and I use that as my hot swappable build. I just change the switches out, put different caps on it depending on what I'm feeling like. But that's my hot swappable build. It's just in the cupboard at the side of me. So yeah, that's what I use. Right, okay, we've been talking for about 20 minutes now. So just to recap, JO2 is coming. We are redesigning a lot of boards and making new versions of them because of evolution and everything else. We're doubling down on our commitment to the environment in 2022. Additionally, we're also going to be trying to reduce wastage in 2022. And finally, the naming convention of Prototypist branded boards will change in the future as well. That's kind of the big things that we're going to do this year. Notwithstanding that we've expanded staff, we've bought more machinery. We're buying we've bought and paid for a mezzanine that's going to be installed at some point soon. And the workshop's going to kind of change quite a lot in the next 6 months, just in terms of layout, where things are, and how we produce things as well. So yeah, lots and lots going on. Lots and lots going on. What solder do I use for builds? Looking to get some new solder. I use Kester solder. It's 6040 Kester solder, and it's 0.7 millimeters thick. That's what I use pretty much for all my soldering. Silence. Thank you so much for the 500 bits. Thank you so much. I changed the volume on bits. Bits have changed. That was so loud. Why is that not saved? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know why the volume is so loud on these. I need to go through it all and fix it. I apologize. You might have to DM me later as I've missed some of what you said about your favorite hot swappable. Clipper by Mechanisk, HS60 PCB. You can clip this as well if you want and save it for later. POM half plate that I made myself on my laser cutter. That's the three things I use. I just change out switches and keycaps. Clipper case from Mechanisk, HS60 PCB that's hot swappable, and a POM half plate that I cut here in the workshop. Where do I buy it from? Tried to locate it here and couldn't find it. I buy pretty much everything through like corporations. So because Prototypist is business, we don't buy stock through like Amazon very often. We tend to go to suppliers and we give them a list. Most solder comes from RS Components for us, and we probably go through about £1 a week in weight. I heard you're stocking Staebies. Yeah, Staebies will be live on the 7th of this month, 7th of January. I actually have some here. This is what we're using for the build today. These are the Staebies we have. So there you go. So yeah, they'll be in stock from the 7th. Yeah, well, we don't get back to work until the 5th, Truman, so I need a couple of days to just catch up on everything. They are the original V1 Staebies. They are not the new one. There will be a disclaimer on them. We will get round 2 whenever round 2 happens, but these are the first ones. Did I get the Kroll Crobber desk mats? You can check on the updates whether I've got the Kroll Crobber desk mats, Truman. You can go and check on the updates on the website, because that will tell you whether I've got them or not. So yeah, so we'll have some more. What's so good about Staebies again? They're just a new design. Some people like them because they are smoother and require less tuning than other stabilizers, and you don't need to clip them like you do the old GMK ones. Well, Harsha, you will see today whether I have any issues with the stabilizers on my keycaps. We'll see how that goes. When are you going to get a shipping notification for your order? Well, if you look at the top of the website, it says that we're closed from the 22nd of December to the 5th of January. So, if you ordered in that time period, it's not going to ship until the 5th of January. So there you go. Whilst I might be at the workshop right this minute, we're not actually working. It's like 8:30 at night, and it's a Sunday. So we're not back at work until the 5th of January, and that's when orders will start shipping out. Thanks for being the guinea pig. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. Leaded solder can only be sold to businesses, so it might be why it's hard to find. I think if you go on eBay, you'll find whatever solder you need. But yeah, we buy it in bulk, like seriously, that's a bulk. Yeah, it's still on top of the website, Leo. So if you look at the top of the website, it does say that we're closed until the 5th of Jan, and that's when orders will ship. So yeah, and if you email me, you get that on the Automat office. And if you try and message to me on Discord, it also says until the 5th of Jan, I think. So, but yeah, I've got a lot of emails and DMs to catch up on. I think we had something like 800 emails in total over the 2 weeks, and something close to 600 DMs. So yeah, it's going to take me a couple of days to catch up when we go back. But I'm trying. I'll get there. Came from Poland in about a week. That's not too bad, Captain James. That's a cool emote, I would say. Is that like... Is that like God of War with the thing down it? Is there any possible way I could buy a reel off you, Jay, or is it not something you'd be able to invoice? If it's not on the site, I can't sell you it, I'm afraid, unfortunately. The issue I have with like selling like stock that we have that's not listed, or like just stuff that we use around the workshop that's not listed on the site, is that I have to manually create invoices. I have to work out what the cost was. I have to work out what VAT is because we're VAT registered. It's a whole mess, and it's just something I just don't want to entertain, because if I do it for one person, I have to do it for everyone, and it is a lot of work. And you can buy that kind of product out there. It might be a little bit more expensive than what I get it for, but you can buy it out there. It's just a whole raft of paperwork to go through, and it's like right now we don't take anything in via any other means than Shopify payment wise in terms of cash. So I'd have to like do something in the bookwork in the back end to accept PayPal and things. The only thing we accept PayPal for right now is kind of like balancing out things where we've funded stuff for customers and stuff. And other than that, I wouldn't want to drag PayPal into the mix. So yeah, it's a little difficult. I appreciate that you want to support me, but like. It's probably not worth the effort for me to do that when you can just click on eBay and buy some solder that'll work really well for you. But if you can find Kester solder, it'll work really well. Aramissing says, "Hey Jay, what are your thoughts on the Anubis switch? I'm struggling on how to get pure thock on it. I've currently got it to the GMK Pro, not thocky enough." The Anubis switches are pretty good. I haven't tried to build a particularly thocky build with them, but I do think they're a really solid switch. Norwegian community had a local group buy for Kester solder. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I know PayPal sucks for vendors, even though it's helpful to pay with its pay in 3 plans. Oh man. So, little aside, I probably shouldn't really tell you guys this, but a while back we tried to use Klarna and let people buy things through Klarna. This is over a year ago now. And we sold some keyboards through Klarna, maybe like 10, 15 orders, something like that. I wasn't aware that how these buy now, pay in 3 months kind of things work. I just assumed that I got the money from Klarna and it was a deal with Klarna and the customer. But if the customer doesn't pay and Klarna can't get the money back from the customer, they get the money back from the vendor. The vendor is the ultimate person responsible. So for like 3 of those 15 orders, I ended up completely losing out after the customer had got their order shipped. So I just don't offer that anymore. Very difficult stuff. I haven't looked at how the PayPal terms and conditions are, but I bet they're similar. I bet if the customer doesn't pay, PayPal can still go after the vendor. I'll bet. What would I say is the thockiest tactile? Oh man. My answer to that's going to change every week, and it all depends on what board you build them. Thock isn't just down to the switch, it's also down to the plate material, the case material, whether you've got any dampening in there, what type of plate you've got, what shape of plate you've got, what size board you've got, how deep is the cavity inside the board, what type of desk do you have, how big is your room, do you have a desk mat, do you not have a desk mat, do you have curtains up in the room? Like, there's a really easy way to like judge sound. If you're ever decorating at home and you take your curtains down, your room will suddenly echo. That's kind of just an example of how so many different things can happen when it comes to picking a sound profile for a board. And I can guarantee you, if you take your board that sounds, you know, whatever it sounds like in your office or wherever you're typing, and you move it into your kitchen, it's going to sound very different in that room, because it's going to be on a different worktop surface that's got a hollow cupboard underneath or whatever, and the room's going to be larger and emptier most likely. And if you take that to your office, it's going to sound different there. And if you take it to your parents' house or a friend's house, it's going to sound different there. It's really difficult to justify sound and say it's the thockiest build. I don't like to refer to things in that kind of term, and I don't like to use sound tests for anything more than just a general idea of how things are going to sound. Just use 10 decimals. Well, I mean, yeah, of course, sure. Type on your duvet. So it really, really depends. Really, really depends. That's really savage. It's not your fault if someone can't pay. It's not, but it's in the terms and conditions. So, yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, at that point, I could theoretically sell the debt on or take it to, like, a small claims court or something. But in general, it's not going to be worth my time to do that, because it'll cost me hundreds of pounds to take that kind of action, and it's probably not worth it in the long run. But yeah. Yeah. Right, okay. We've been talking for over half an hour now. It's time to actually start getting on with the build, I think, and start to show you guys what we're building today. Any news on double stage springs? No, I did reach out to Kinetic Labs to see if we could stop them. Haven't heard anything back. Or if I have, it might be over Christmas and New Year, and I haven't checked all my emails yet. So we'll see. As soon as there's news, you'll see it somewhere. Anyway, let's flip over to the build stream. Right. So I'm not going to show you guys keycaps yet because we do have keycaps for you to choose. But the first thing I need you guys to do is choose what switches we're going to build today. And you guys have a choice of 3. I'll talk about the switches and then I'll set up a quick poll and you guys can pick which switches we build. So we're going to use either lavenders. These are lubed with 205 grade 2. We're going to use CJs, which are lubed with 205 grade 2. Or we're going to use Zaku's, which are lubed and filmed. So these are lubed with 205 grade 2 and filmed as well. So those are the 3 choices of switch. Let's set up a quick poll and you guys can decide which switches we're going to use today. Help if I can type switch correctly. So we've got CJs, lavenders, and we've got Zaku. Let's set that poll going and see what you guys come up with. Oh, Truman, you can do the polls. Yeah, you can do the polls. All right, I've set this one up. This one's going. But yeah, you can do the next poll. You can do the next poll. You let people decide this one. You rigged the last one. I know, man. I know. I remember that. Yeah, okay, Truman, if you're here, thank you, man. You can do the next poll. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Chat pick CJs. No, you're not supposed to, like, influence the polls, Truman. As mod, you're supposed to create the poll, not influence it, right? Zaku's a linear, I believe. Checking. Linear. Solid switch. Do you know, I think, personally, on a personal level, I'm going to flip back to the camera for this. On a personal level, I think that Gateron X switches are quite possibly my favorite switch right now. If you take the time to lube them well and you have time to mod your switches, Gateron X switches are the best switch on the market. Hands down, they are the best switch on the market. But only if you have the time to modify them directly and you want a linear. If you want to do anything else with the switch, I think there are probably other options. If you just want a stock switch and you want it smooth, CJs. If you want a stock switch that sounds really good, alpacas. If you want a switch that you can modify and tune to your heart's content, Gateron X every single time. They're in stock on my store, I think. Gateron CJs are in stock on my store, right? I don't think I've sold out. Let me have a look. In stock switches. I don't believe they've sold out. Yeah, CJs are still in stock. Here you go. I only have them in 90s, but yeah, they're still in stock. So, admin PA, there you go. Did you find the switch, CJ switch didn't need film? So I didn't actually lube these. I never have time to lube my own switches these days. A good friend of mine called Matt the Pokemon Kid, who might be watching, we built his Ace of Spades design just before Christmas. He actually lubed all of these switches for me. I just send him a box full of switches and he lubes them for me. I sent him a ton of like different things, different lubes, different switches, and some Laligator, thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you so much. And some films, and I just said, just do what you feel is right. So he did some way and not the other. So yeah. Mel and Noel. Mel is here as well. Mel is here as well. We have not sold out. For those that you don't know, Mel is my number 2 here at Prototypist. She does all of the packing and warehouse management. I didn't know you were watching, Mel. But hey. It feels like ages since I've seen you. I can't wait to actually catch up properly on Wednesday the 5th. I wonder how the New Zeal convertible switches will change that. Don't know. I'll try and get some samples. Right, okay. There's just about a minute and a half left. CJ switches are winning at the minute with the vote, but only just. Guys, if you want to pick a different switch for this build, I thought you were going to go for lavenders, but you need to pick now. Not created another puddle for me, have you? No. So, for those that you don't know and didn't catch the Insta stories, Mel came up to the workshop whilst I was away on holiday, and I turned everything off, like the power to everything, forgetting that the fridge had an icebox in it, and the icebox melted, and the floor flooded. So Mel had to clean that up when she came in randomly. Why is Mel not an admin mod? Because she's not. Truman can give Mel mod. Truman can give Mel mod. He'll sort that out. He'll sort that out. I love the Pokemon Kid. He's the first keyboard streamer I ever watched. He might be responsible for my falling down the rabbit hole. He's a great guy, is Matt. He's a good guy. Zeal switches will probably still be expensive for what they are versus other alternatives. Yeah. The fridge is fine, JQ. I turned it back on. It's fine. It's completely fine. I don't know what the price is going to be for the Zeal switches. I haven't looked at the pre-orders and stuff, but I will buy some of each just to test them out, just to see how they are. There we go. Okay, so about 15 seconds left. Zaku switches are back in the lead. No one's voting for Lavenders. I suppose I'm going to throw my vote in there. There we go. Throw my vote in the mix. $1.3 US a switch? No. $1.30 each? $1.30 each? Zaku switches is the one. That's what we're going to use to build today. Zaku switches. Pop these to one side. Come on, Zakus. Need another switch to play with. We need to build your JO1 Mel. We'll get that done when we're back in the workshop. $1. Oh, you can't do mod. Okay. Is it just /mod? Mel and Noel. Is it just that? Okay, Mel should have mod power now. $1.30 with the pre-launch with the discount. Wait, let me have a look at this. Let me have a look. Are these up on Zeal's site now? Okay, Zeal switches. Right, let's have a look. Let me have a look at this. I can't believe that they're... Right. Zelio V1 switches, reader. Okay. Where are they? Okay. Pearlio, Crystal. Is this them? £10 for 10 switches? £1 each? With 9% off? One order equals 10 switches. What? How can they be that expensive? Yeah, like I mean that's without VAT, so they're going to be £1.20 each, including VAT, plus shipping to the UK. Let's see if we buy 100. What does that come out to? Let's have a look. Okay, so if I order 100 switches, it comes out at, let's get shipping rates, £114 plus 20, £136 and 34 pence for 100 switches, £1.37 each, give or take, and that's at pre-order pricing. The clickies are the most expensive. Yeah, I just selected the linear ones, the Pearlio ones here. Oh, that does include root package protection as well. Let me turn that off. Okay, it's redoing its calculations. And that's with FedEx International Economy. That's the cheapest shipping option. If I use DHL at £27, it's £154 for 100 switches. Wow. Plus VAT, yeah. Well, it includes VAT. It does show me at checkout exactly what this is. But wow, £102 for the switches, £27 for shipping, £25.23 in taxes, £154.23 for 100 switches. Wow, how much are the clickies then? What are the clickies? Which ones are the clickies? Tactile. Clickies. Let me have a look at these. Oh, it looks like 100 grams. Okay, they do 2 weights of these. Okay, these look like the same price. It looks like it's the same price here. Yeah. £100 for 100 switches, plus shipping, plus taxes. I kind of can't get over that. Yeah, so it looks like it comes out the same. £154.23. Wow. Zeal switches are stupid expensive. I don't understand how those prices have got to. I really don't. They'll be more expensive when it's Han Solo. Yeah, they'll be more expensive when it's not in group buy. Trying to shop for some neon green Alps, so all switches feel cheap. Yeah, I mean that's true. Like searching for brown Alps as well gives you that feeling too. But no, yeah, we've got Mel modded now. Thank you. £1.50 each once you include VAT and shipping. Yeah, it's really expensive. Shipping might be even $30. Yeah. Really hoping for those Chinese copycats. I'm confused. Is there a reason for those prices? I don't know, man. I don't know. Like all Zeal switches used to be really expensive when you looked at the Zealios, and they were like 70 cents each or 80 cents each, or whatever. But for them to be $1.30 each, that's a huge price. I mean, I hope he's selling enough to keep his business going, but that's a huge price. I'm sure he has justification. Maybe he's paying for parts of the design, owns the molds, things like that. They are manufactured by Gateron, but they're not just Gaterons. There were always Zeal's own molds within Gateron. Also, by the way, Zaku won by 1 over CJ's. Yeah, well, Zaku's are what we're building with today. Wow. Okay, let's flip back to the camera. Okay, as well as that, we're also going to be building with Staebies today. This is a full pack of Staebies. These will be in stock from the 7th. They're the round 1. There is a bit of a disclaimer. These might affect your keycaps. We'll see if that affects us today. You can see that they are made from a nylon housing with a POM stem. And these are the round 1 ones. So we'll see. These were manufactured in November 2021. So we'll see how these are. But these are Staebies. First time I've used them. Yeah, I think he does have some R&D costs to try and get back for the clicky ones, because he's had them for a while. He's been going through them for quite a long time. So we'll see. What was the difference between round 1 and round 2 for the Zealios? All new molds for V2s. For V2s, not round 2s. Right, okay, so that's the switches and the stabilizers sorted. Now it's time to show you guys the board. And here it is. This is the board as I received it. Comes in pretty nice packaging. Boxes decorated on all sides. You can see we've got plate A, whatever plate A was, with the MF finish. That's the mint finish. With the GG handle and the GG badge. I can't remember what GG is. But we've got the Supernova case. So there we go. Apparently. Round 2 is going to fix... round 2 is still in manufacturing, but round 2 is going to fix the issues. Okay, so here is the packaging. Nick, thank you so much for the subscription. He says you're supposed to be on vacation. I am until the 5th, but I'm just come up just to stream. I'm still on vacation, but yeah, I've come to stream. In here we have quite a few different bits and pieces, so I'm going to show you this first of all. This has got a little badge from Ace Keyboard Company. I hope Ace Keyboards are watching. I know they tweeted me earlier on today with cables and a handle and some other bits and pieces. Then we have what I believe is the plate assembly in here. Melanol, thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you, which is in here. We'll take a look at that soon. And then here is the case. We also have a PCB in the back, which is the Titan 60. And then here we have the keyboard case. Now, how cool is this color? This is powder coated, bent steel construction. I think this is just powder coated steel, but this is super cool. And then it's all bent and formed around. I think it's made of 2 pieces, a 2-piece construction. It's so cool. So cool. Just such a cool shape, right? Just such a cool shape and cool design. And this is what we're going to build today. Let's get this box out here. So there we go. We'll take a look at the board in more detail in a moment. Let's first just unpack this and see what's in here. You really liking the colour on this board? Yeah, it's really cool. big empty hollow board. There is loads of foams in here that we can take a look at, like some really thick dense foam in here. So we'll take a look at that later on and see how that affects the sound. But it's a really big empty traditional vintage case, and I love this kind of thing. Of course, we've got the two badges. We've got the Saturn 60 badge here, and then the Ace Keyboard co-badge. So there you go. Just some cool details on there. Max speed of 360 words per minute. I'll get like 10% of that. We have some cables. Not sure what that's for, but we'll work it out. We have, oh, some LEDs on some strips. 2 of those. We have an Allen key. Some rubber bump-ons, some washers, some screws. And then we have this, which is a cool pipe type handle, which is really cool. We'll get that fitted up nice and neatly. And then of course there's the internal cable, so that we have a female USB-C at the back of the board. Okay. Let's take the board apart and have a look and see what's inside it. I'm just going to move all of these bits to one side. Yeah, I think another round's likely. Look how thick this foam is. If the camera focus. Look how thick this foam is. It's like 12 mil thick, maybe? Something like that. Very soft. Should. Oh, there we go. Quite a large piece there. It should absorb a lot of sound. There's also a thin bit of rubber in here as well, but we might have to take the board apart to get a better look at that. Let's see, what size tool do we need? I think this. Nope. This. It's a mattress. It's as thick as a mattress, yeah. I have slept on mattresses worse. Neither the round, so you can be the UK vendor. If Ace Keyboard Company want me to be the vendor for the UK, I would be more than happy to be. But that's entirely up to them. That's a decision that's for them to make, not for me to make. I do love this powder coat finish though. It's pretty cool. Okay. 2 screws on the back. I think there's a build guide out there for this, but I'm not going to look at it just yet. I'm pretty sure we can work it out, right? We've built enough of these boards these days. We can work this out. Whoops. If I don't drop the screwdriver. There we go. Is that the best vendor in this hobby back from vacay? I'm back officially on the 5th. I'm back to work on the 5th, but yeah, I'm back home now, which is why I can come up to the workshop. But I'm officially back in the workshop, working on orders from the 5th of Jan. Okay, so now these 2 pieces should come apart. There we go. So you can see that this is just literally just bent steel construction that's powder coated, which is a pretty cool way of doing it. I think the HMKB is very similar in how it works, but it's a pretty cool idea. I do like this. It's very reminiscent of vintage boards and how they would have been made. Lots of products were made like this in the past. And of course we have the acoustic dampener mat as well, which we can actually use to fasten in place as well. So when we put the badge on the base, we can actually fasten it all in place. Now this particular piece, again, really good finish for powder coat. Pretty happy with that. There is a snap-off part here if you ever want to use a different type of connector. You can snap that bit out. Cool vents for cooling down the sides. Turn it over on the base. And there we go. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Let's get the bump-ons placed on the bottom for the starts. And then we're going to place the badge on the bottom as well. Let's get all the badges in place. Now there's no set spaces I can see for these bump-ons, so I'm just going to try and make a rough guesstimate of where I'm going to put them. And I'm not going to press them on just yet, I'm just going to lay them on. And just try and make them somewhat even to each other. before we stick them down properly. They all look pretty close to where they should be. There we go. Bump-ons installed. Nice and simple. Be nice to have actually had recesses, but given the fact that it's folded steel and not cut steel, it'd be very difficult to do that. But there we go. That's bump-ons done. Okay, let's install the badge next. So much foam. Where did I put the badge? There it is. So this is the badge that's going to go on the base of the case. It does have 4 holes cut out for it. Here's the badge. That's pretty cool, right? That is pretty cool, and that's going to sit just there. I think it's got sticky as well, so we'll have a look and see if it has. No. No sticky, so we're just going to screw that into place. Let's bob some screws through. I assume that we're going to use these screws for it. I assume that these holes are threaded as well. Yeah, let's see. No, so that means we must have some nuts. Hey, hey, nuts. Oh, we do. We do have some nuts. There we go. Nuts and washers. We only have 3 nuts. Okay, looks like we're a nut short. Okay. Are we really a nut short? Yeah, we're a nut short. Never mind. I'll have some more in the workshop. We'll just put 3 screws in for now. I will have some more screws in the workshop. Just to do this, we're just going to pop a screw in the bottom corner. And then we're going to flip this over. Going to pop a washer on the screw. And then we're going to pop the... Jay had a little too much wine on New Year's Eve. I did, yeah. Pretty nutty. Indeed, right? In fact, you know what? We're just going to put 2 of these in today. Just going to put 2 in for now. So bob that one in there. We're going to bob another one in this top corner. Again. Oh no, we do have 4. We do have 4. The other bolt is there. There we go. I had too much wine a lot of times during the festive break, I'll be honest. There was a couple of times when I had far too much to drink. But that's fine. It only happens once a year. Okay, and then we're going to put the final screw in this top corner. There we go. And then we should be able to just tighten these up by holding the bolts on the back. Just making sure it's not going to go anywhere. There we go. And that's now all fitted. We'll peel off the protective sheet towards the end of the stream. That's pretty good. Cool. Okay, next job. Oh, we should have put the matting down, but I think it's going to be okay over the top like so. I think that's okay. We could have screwed the matting down as well, but I think it'd be fine. Let's pop that to one side. And let's now fit the handle on the rear of the case. This is the back of the case, and it's going to have the carry handle on here as well. Use some snips to get into this. And again, we've just got like a brass handle with some bolts. We'll take the bolts off. We're also going to take the captive O-rings off as well. There we go. Now, this handle does have a hinge in it, so we can bend it. Now, we want to make sure that we're bending it the right way. So in my head, if we've got it like this, do we want to be able to bend the handle up and have it visible from the front? Or do we want to bend it down and have it just flush with the bottom? I think we're going to have it just flush with the bottom. So that's the way we're going to install it. I'm going to put the captive O-ring back on both sides. And then we're just going to hand tighten these up. There is no need for something as light as a keyboard to torque these down to something stupid with an actual spanner or anything like that. We can just torque these up by hand and they'll be more than fine. As long as we're not loose, this will be more than fine. So there we go. That's the handle all installed. It's nice and firm, it's not going anywhere. Folds down nicely when not in use at the back. Fold it up to pick the keyboard up. It's pretty cool. Okay. The last thing to do is to put on the sticky badge, the Saturn 60 badge, on the front. Now, I have a rough idea of where I want to place this, so we're just going to be very gentle as we place it. I've just split my nail. Why doesn't this keyboard actually come with a real cabinet? Yeah, for sure, right. So we're going to stick it on this raised section just here. And all I want to do is just make sure that it's like perfectly horizontal. So we're just going to go... We've just rested it on here. We haven't pressed it down, so we can still move it. We're just going to make sure it's actually as horizontal as we think it should be. And then we're going to press it down. And now we've got the badge installed. So there we go. That looks pretty cool. Right, okay. So that's the case ready. The next job now is to take a look at the PCB and plate. Now the plate is a little bit different to what we used to, because again, it's folded steel. Please note it does support ISO, so we're building it in ISO layout. And you'll also notice that it's got these captive nuts on the side. So this actually has nuts attached to it. These have been heat pressed in, I think. Yeah, so these have been heat pressed in place. So it has captive nuts, which means that we can screw this in place. And this is going to screw to the bottom case. So when we have the bottom case in place, we have 4 holes, one here, one here, one here, and one here. And this is going to screw in place like so from the outside. So we'll screw in to the outside, and that will hold all of the build in place. Before we get to that though, we have to actually lube the stabilizers, put them into the board, and solder the switches. ISO gang, 100%, 100%. Wherever I can build ISO, I usually will. Here's the PCB, Titan 60. It's a nice shade of purple. Kind of fits with the green colorway. Plate fits on top nicely. First job, stabilizers. So we're going to get this TX stabilizer. We're going to go for a 7U bottom row on this one, not a 6.25. And we're going to need stabilizers for the ISO enter, the fallback space. We're going to do split left shift, and we're going to do split right shift. So that's all we need, just 3 stabilizers. That's a cool plate. It's a cool idea, yeah. Need to order some ISO plates for the JR1. I think we have some in stock, but again, it's been a little while since I've been at work, so we might be out. I'm not sure. If we are out, we'll have some in stock at some point soon. There we go. So this is all we need from a stabilizer perspective. Now, this is my first time using these stabilizers. They do look like they attach just like any other stabilizer. There doesn't look to be anything unique about how we build them or put them together. And I'm just going to loop them in the same way as I always do, and we'll see how they turn out. I'm kind of interested to see how good these are. I'm not going to clip them or anything. I don't think they need clipping. They feel smooth. They feel really smooth. Just using them here in hand like this, they feel pretty damn good. Quite substantial. They probably feel like a higher quality than something like a Durex stabilizer, but how they feel and how they type, that's really going to change hearts and minds there. Okay, it's time to loop these up. As I say, we're just going to use my standard looping technique, which is plenty of 205 grade 2 on the wires and a very, very fine amount on the slider rails. Okay, it clips in nicely. And we missed the housing. Great. There we go. Let's do the other side. Yeah, lots of old boards had stainless steel and steel plates that were bent in certain positions to create a typing angle and everything else. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's a valid method of designing and building a board. It's just fallen out of favour with things like top mount and other mounts available. Okay, let's throw this in place. I'm just going to pop a little bit of lube into the rear of the stabilizer, just like I always do. Just in case we have any lube that doesn't quite sit where it needs to be. And just to make sure the wire hasn't lost any of that lubricant. Clean the brush off as best we can. And we're going to put a very fine amount on the slider rails. Don't want to gum these up. There we go. Now we'll do the same for the smaller ones. It seems like the music stopped. I'll check in a second why that stopped. I can't believe we've got to the end of the playlist already. Let's have a look. There we go. I might have just clicked start program. I didn't want to start running in before we get banned from Twitch. There we go. For some reason I managed to click and start Destiny 2 in Steam rather than check the volume of the music. Don't know how, but we managed it. I might play some Destiny 2 soon. I haven't played for a little while. We're in the process of changing internet provider at home, so I have literally a dongle at home to provide internet access rather than actual broadband. And I've been craving playing Destiny 2 for a little while, and I just haven't been able to. So there is half a chance that I just come up to the workshop tomorrow just to play video games, because I have a PS5 here as well, so... There is a half chance that that happens. Assuming the wife doesn't find some DIY for me to do. Okay. Final stabilizer now. You just got flawlessly? Nice. Nice. I haven't played Halo yet, no. I haven't even bought Halo. I don't think I'll get around to playing it. I want to try and get ready to play Destiny 2. I'm going to be playing with Holtzman and some devs from Bungie, I think. Destiny 2 and do the Vault of Glass raid. in a couple of weeks' time, which would be quite fun. So maybe we'll stream that. I don't know. We'll see. You can take me through Flawless at some point, Omar. I'll hold you to it. Trials of Osiris, or whatever it's called these days. The One King Elor, thank you very much for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, Bungie devs, yeah. Holtzman is a streamer turned dev who works for Bungie. And I did some cool customizations on his JO1. So we're going to play some Destiny together, do the Vault of Glass. I think he mentioned that some of his friends from the dev team will be playing with us. We'll see. Halo Infinite is free to play. Shows you how much I've looked at it. Right, that's the stabs all looped. Let's now get these in the board. As an ISO gang who doesn't know how to solder, I'm happy with the amount of ISO hotswap we're getting recently. Yeah, we've seen some good ISO hotswap options recently. But soldering is not difficult, and I think anyone can learn how to solder. Okay. Tell you got a friend who likes the Vault Glass too. Tell you what, you get me Flawless, and I'll see if I can invite you along. No promises. Okay, I'm just going to put these washers on. The screws as we put them in. Are these really that thick, or is that 2? That's got to be 2, right? The first time solder anxiety is actually worse than soldering itself. 100%. 100%. The first time you do it, like anything, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. Going to screw these in. Now remember guys, when you're screwing in stabilizers, you don't want to try and break the PCB or damage a stabilizer or anything. You're not trying to go too tight. You're just trying to go finger tight and then a quarter turn more just to hold the stabilizer in place. That's all you're trying to do. I've seen some broken PCBs in the past where people have over tightened stabilizers so much it's cracked the PCB. That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. And before I have to do my solder your own board. You're going to solder your own board, Mel. Yeah, 100%. Shuklak, hey man, good to see you, my dude. I hope you had a good Christmas and New Year. And I hope it's nice weather down under. I'm pretty sure you're down under, right? Ah. Lost a screw. Oh well, we got plenty more. My first solder board was a 7V. Did it like a week ago. I think I did it well. Everything worked. Good. Please Pet Dogs, thank you so much for the Prime subscription. What a great username. Great username. Yes, indeed. Thanks, mate. You too. Yeah. I bet your weather's nicer than ours right now. It's just horrible and wet. It's only scary until you do it. What else could you sum up in life with that phrase? It's only scary until you do it. What other things could you say about life that makes that? Raz, thank you so much for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Blue Toggle says hello. Hey, man. Good to see you. Schmexy time. Maybe. Try practicing on something small, guys. Yeah. I think just normal 60% PCB is where I learned how to solder. Wait, that's just what I learned to solder on. Just normal 60% PCB. PG chat, please. Yeah. You got discipline waiting for me? Nice. That's a fun build. Disciplines are always a fun build. Okay, now we just got one last stab to screw in. We've just got the ISO enter to screw in. Thoughts on Staebies so far is they're just stabs. Nothing unusual about them so far. They feel nicely manufactured. They feel like a quality product when you're just touching them, like they have some substance to them. Slightly upset these O-rings stick together, but that's probably just this pack or something, or it's just a me issue. It's very cold in here. The Saturn 60 is not currently available anywhere, but I'm expecting that there will be a round 2 at some point. It's been a pretty popular board, so I think I'll see it come back. I think I did a Romeo 40 through hole as a first solder board. Decent way to learn because it was cheap. Yeah, not a bad way to learn. I think I've got some really simple PCBs that just have like 2 or 3 switches in that you can use as a macro pad that I got free at a meetup in the US a couple of years ago. They're a pretty good way to learn how to solder as well. Flex man, hey man, good to see you, Flex. I hope you're doing well, dude. Sorry, I'm talking to you while I've got something in my eye. I hope you're doing well, man. Happy New Year to you too, dude. Glad to see you here. Okay, that's the stabilizers in the board. Now it's time to pop the plate in place and get the switches installed as well. Draconic Vision, thank you so much for the Prime subscription, man. I really appreciate that. Just making sure that everything lines up in the plate. And we can see that it does. That's how it's going to look. We can go from here, popping the switches in now. I'm hoping the switches are going to hold the PCB in place as well. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to try popping a couple of switches in place. And then we'll see if we can get the PCB to be supported by the switches. Let's just see how this goes. Let's see. Let's see. No, that's not going to hold. Yeah, they're going to just drop out. So the PCB isn't quite tight enough to hold onto the switches on the switch pin leg. So we're just going to bob all of the switches in the plate, and then we'll come back. We'll drop the plate on from the other side. We'll solder it in, and then we'll take a look at any difficult switches that don't hold into the plate, such as around the backspace, the ISO enter, and anywhere else that's kind of got like a larger than normal cutout. We'll get the rest of these in first. And of course, when we get to the soldering part, guys, you can ask me any question you'd like about any topic you'd like as well. All you need to do is just tag me with @JPrototypist when we get to soldering, and you can ask me anything at all, any question at all about any topic you like. It doesn't have to be keyboards, and as long as it's Twitch safe, I will answer it. As long as I can answer in a way that's not going to get me banned from Twitch, I will answer it. You can use the build command, Draconic Vision, to see what we're building today. Chat chose Zaku switches from the list on the build command. We've still got to choose keycaps, which will be chat's choice at the end of the stream. You also get to be sad at the amount of cool boards Jay has. Guys, I've spent a long time collecting boards. I've been in the hobby for, you know, best part of, well, probably closing on 8 years now. I've had plenty of time to build up a collection. PT money is well spent. Nothing you see on stream has been funded by PT. Everything you see that's used for streaming is funded by me personally. Even down to things like the Staebies. I buy them off the company effectively. So, yeah. New Year's Day was my first anniversary collecting keyboards. I think my first group buy was 2014, I think, when SA Calm Depths ran. So it's getting on for that. What about the electricity? Okay, the electricity is paid for by Prototypist. But everything else was owned the PC, the monitors, everything else, the cameras. That was all owned pre-Prototypist and is owned by me personally. And all of the boards I build that aren't Prototypist boards, they're all bought and paid for by me as well. No, that's a Heine TKL one numpad. That's from a Heine TKL keyboard as well. The keyboard's floating around in the office somewhere. And that's just the matching numpad for it. The electricity is only paid for by the company because it's from, I'm streaming from the workshop, right? This is where the office, and this is the heart of Prototypist, so yeah. Lodestone went. The prototype's on the shelf just in front of me. Not sure when we'll get around to actually doing anything further with it, but it's on my list of things to talk to Flex about at some point. Just needs both of us to have some time. That's all it needs. Okay. Almost there now, putting the switches in this plate. And then once we've got these soldered, we'll go back to some of the more difficult switches, the ones that don't clip into places, such as the backspace, the ISO enter, the shifts, and we'll do the bottom row shortly as well. We'll do the bottom row afterwards as well. Yeah, these are all Lubid 205 grade 2, yes. Okay. Let's see if we can do this without any bent pins. I think we might have a bent pin holding that up. Let's take a look. Yes, there's at least one. Maybe two. Maybe three. Okay, that should be good now. Okay, so that's now sitting nice and flush against those switches. So we're going to solder that into place. Once we've done that, we'll then work out where the rest of the switches need to go, and we'll get them soldered in as well. So right now, guys, all you need to do is just tag me with @JPrototypist, and you can ask me any question you like about any topic you like whatsoever. And we're almost out of this reel of solder, so hopefully there'll be enough for today. I think there will be. Okay, right, first question comes on from Jae Builds. He says, do you like the new Mammoth boards from Rook or Wookie? I was really excited for them, but the QC on my Mammoth pad is a bit sketch. Yeah, I don't have any on hand, but I will be the vendor for the group buy of the Mammoth 75 coming soon. If you have issues with the QC, reach out to them. I'm sure it's an oversight and they'll help you. Not that I can speak for them, but it's always worthwhile reaching out to them to have a chat. Okay. Yeah, I'll be the vendor for the new Mammoth 75 and a couple of other products that Wookie have got coming up, and we'll be restocking on the Wookie switch pullers and switch openers as well soon. Cheeselove says, how did you retire so early? Did you just hodl all of your cash, or did you just invest heavy early on? So prior to running Prototypist, I used to work for a bank as a senior program manager. I did that for about 15 years. And I retired in April of 2021. I was lucky enough to be made redundant and use that as a retirement opportunity. I had properties I owned in a couple of places around the country, and I sold those and had some retirement funds for being made redundant, and I invested that all into Prototypist. Well, not all of it, but a lot of it. Currently, I have no income. I don't take any salary currently from Prototypist. That might change in the future, but right now I don't earn any money through Prototypist myself. Literally the only income I have is from streaming on Twitch, which makes me about £100 a month. Something like that, which is like $150 a month at most, and that's all of the income that I have. So yeah, and then, as I say, all of my investments have been into Prototypist. Of course, Prototypist will pay me back my investments when those group buys come to fruition and make the profit, but they'll only pay me back my actual investment. They won't be paying me back anything additional. And if I do need to take a salary at some point, I'll make sure that's publicly notified as well. I'm not just going to start taking a salary and not tell anyone. I'll make it public knowledge if and when I ever do need to take a salary. Hope that answers the question. Draconic Vision asks about the soldering iron. This is the TS100. It's the original TS100 from 2016 or so. I've had this about 5 years now. I've soldered nearly every single keyboard I've ever soldered with this single iron, and all I've ever done is replace the tip. It works perfectly, has custom firmware, and it's very similar colour to one of my classic cars that I have. So it's a great little tool. Heats up super quick, and it's never missed a beat so far. JQ says, what is the capital of Assyria? Off the top of my head, I don't know. So I'm going to Google it, and then I'm going to tell you the answer. Assyria. The Semitic-speaking realm Assyria was centered on the Tigris River in Upper Mesopotamia, a region which covered, in most modern terms, northern Iraq, northeast Syria. Interesting. The Assyrian state's original capital was the ancient city of Assur, which I might be pronouncing wrong, which dates back to circa 2600 BC, original one of the number of Akkadian-speaking city-states of Mesopotamia. Okay, so I actually didn't know that. I know a little bit about Sumeria and Akkadian peoples and the Akkadian Empire. I know a little bit about some of those in Babylonia and stuff, which I assume this is going to go on to discuss. Yeah, interesting. So there we go. Neon says, have you ever bought a product keyboard related that you've been overhyped and excited for but underwhelmed when you received it? Doro67. What do I main in Destiny? Historically a hunter, more recently since I came back to Destiny, a warlock. Couldn't tell you why I changed. It was just the first character I loaded up on when I came back to the game. I think I prefer Hunter overall, though. In Destiny 1, I mained a Titan, and then moved over to a Hunter towards the latter stages of the game's life. But yeah, always preferred the Hunter. The Hunter movement in Crucible is just unreal, and I think that's what I'm struggling with at the minute, not having that. The Warlock jump is just horrible, and Blink's not great either. So, yeah, I'm going to go back to Hunter at some point soon. Have you tried any cat sets? Picked up Refined from Daily Clack today, and it was only £14 shipping. That's not too bad. In fact, that's really cheap, but I expect it'll take a while. And don't forget, you'll have VAT to pay and duties to pay when it arrives as well. But I didn't think Cat Refined had shipped yet. I thought Cat Refined was still in production. In terms of my personal collection, I have a couple of cat sets. I've got Cat Alpha, Cat Ugly, Cat, and Cat Milkshake. Oh, and Cat Drifter as well. Tech says, is 42 still the answer? Always. 42 is always the answer. Some of you will know why. Others might not. If you don't, you can Google it. Radical says, sorry, I think I missed the beginning of the question. So does that mean Prototypist doesn't turn a profit now? What is your main income stream? So just to go back to it, Prototypist makes a profit. The company makes a profit. All of that profit is reinvested back into the company. It pays for staff, such as Mel, who's in chat. It pays for tools that we need to be able to continue to provide the services. It pays for rent of our workshop and things like that. It pays for our utilities, gas, water, electric. It pays for prototypes for new products that we're bringing to market, such as new keyboards, J-series or future boards as well. But I don't personally take any income from the company at the moment. My only income, my sole income, is from streaming, and I make about £100 a month or $150 a month at most from streaming right now, and that's all of the income I have. Just skipping through chat, Oasis says, how much does it cost to get a board built by you for a stream? If you just want me to build a board, it's £35 including VAT. That doesn't get streamed. If you want me to do it on stream, it's £50 including VAT. So there you go. Those are the prices. Most people choose for me to build not on stream and save a little bit of cash. And that's why most of my, like 99.9% of my build streams are personal boards, such as today. This is a personally owned board. Is there any custom ergo board that supports ISO? I'm kind of curious because of my mega typing on essays. Yeah, so the FLX Virgo by Flexaman, who's in chat, that supports ISO out of the box. Mine's built in the workshop out of ISO. And I hear there's a rumor that it's going in for round 2, although Flex hasn't mentioned this to me, but I hear there's a rumor it's going in for round 2. Warlock, boo. Yeah, I know. So you mentioned F1 in a few of your stories. Who or what team were you rooting for this year? I'm a McLaren fan through and through. I'm a huge McLaren fan. But this year I was, of course, rooting for Lewis Hamilton as he's a British driver and I'm British. But yeah, I'm a huge McLaren fan. So I'm always rooting for McLaren to do well. But at the front of the tables, I'm going to always root for the Brit. So if Hamilton's in the mix for winning, I'm going to go for Hamilton. Because it's not often the McLaren are up there ready to win. Everyone loves playing as a hunter. Yeah. If you were forced to destroy a board irreparably at gunpoint, which would you destroy and how would you do it? Probably the Dodora 67 and in the most destructive way possible. I think we're going to build it on stream at some point with random switches from my random switch jar. And when we do that, we might then have some Insta videos where we destroy it. And we'll think up some fun ways to do that. Maybe we'll drive over it with the workshop truck. Maybe we'll drop it from the top of the building. Maybe we'll do some other things. Who knows? We'll see. Right, okay. So that's most of the board soldered. Now we've just got some of the more difficult switches to do. So we're going to put these in. And now they should stay in place into the PCB nice and neatly. So then we're going to solder these in. And then once these are soldered in, it'll be time to put the board together. Okay, I need a 7U space bar and some keys for the bottom row here. So I'm just going to use some keys out of just random type of keycaps just to make sure that we're putting the switches in the correct slots here. This is a little tip if you're ever unsure about where switches need to go in the board. We're just going to do that, and then we're going to get some 1.5U and 1U keycaps for the switches that are going to go in the bottom row. It doesn't matter which keys we use here, as long as they're 1U and 1.5U, because all we're trying to do is align things together. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to use a 1.25U key here to just make sure that we get the first key in the correct position here on the bottom row. And then we need a 1U key. Which doesn't seem to want to go into the PCB. There we go. And then we can take the keycap. We can use it on another switch just to the side of that. And this will correlate that we've got everything in the right place. There we go. And then we can do the same on the other side of the spacebar. Oops. So what we're doing here is just making sure that we're putting the switches into the right slots to make sure we've got the keys that we want. And the layout that we want. And then there we go. Now we know that all of those switches in the bottom row align to a 7U spacebar layout. Job done. Now we can solder those in place. I'll answer a few more questions and then we can pick some keycaps. Okay, let me catch up with chat and see what your next question is. Dora 67, yeah. Crawling Warlock Jumper Jump. I know, right? I know. Love the financial transparency, by the way. No worries, man. Like, I always want to be transparent with it. At some point, I may have to take a salary just to keep myself surviving. And if I do, I'll be completely and open honest about that. I'll put up a blog post and make sure it's very clear that that's something that's changed. I might also touch on some financials in the next Prototypist blog as well, just so you guys can keep track of things, because I feel like that's the responsible thing to do. Okay. Let's see if there's any more questions. Blue Toggle said, managed to pick up on pre-order. Group buying did a while ago. Only Day in the Clock had it in stock. I paid nearly £75 from Prime KB, so I was chuffed. Nice. Thick plate, yeah or nah? I like it in the Zephyr. It's nice in the Zephyr. Andrew Goodwin says, having been introduced to by a friend, hearing about the zero carbon offsetting is really encouraging. The PC case I use, a very niche ITX called Winter One by Winter Designs, have a similar ethos. Nice. Good to hear it. Then we should smash it. Yes, we're going to smash it, Mel. We'll smash it. We'll create some nice Insta stories where we smash that keyboard up once we've built it. We're also going to see a return to workshop streams as well. So now we've got the new laser cutter fully up and running and operational. There'll be some more workshop streams coming very soon. As well as some more Lego building streams, because I've got a ton of Lego sets that I got for Christmas that now need to be built. So it's encouragement to finish off the current series of Lego builds I have. As well as something else to stream content-wise. Okay, I think that's nearly everything soldered. There we go. Brass Balloons, thank you so much for the follow as well, man. I really appreciate that. And thank you very much to the Pokemon Kid who subscribed a few minutes ago. He is the guy that lubed my switches for me, so thank you very much, Matt. Right, let's catch up with chat. Iwane says the Persuader, of course, on the Doro, and using your hand is most satisfying. Yes, we can bust out the Persuader. Mel's a gentle Persuader. There we go, guys. That's the keyboard all soldered. Now it's time to put it in the case. Take it to the clay pigeon range. We could do that as well. I do know of one. Can you give us any hints as to what you're working on in terms of prototypes? I'd rather not until I have something on hand. Like, I don't like to share too much stuff just in case it doesn't come to fruition. So probably not just yet, but if we do have anything to show, it'll be on stream. Iwane says, if you were hypnotized so that using cherry profile keycaps would make you violently ill whenever you went near them, what keycap profile would you use instead? Probably cat. Cat and cherry are the two profiles I like the most, so it'd be those two. The questions today, madness. Hey man, I don't mind answering these questions, it's cool. Hey Matt, thank you very much for the sub as well a minute ago. Yeah, I'm having a great Sunday. First stream back of the new year. First time I've been to the workshop this year as well, which is pretty cool. Have I ever thought about allowing people to buy shares? Do you mean in Prototypist? We're a limited liability company. We're not publicly traded, so that's not something that's available at the minute. When I do the Dora 67 stream, I will regale you with the story, Draconic Vision. You will hear all about the story itself. What are your rates for custom cut carbon fiber plates? Thinking about a future project. It depends on the price I can get from China at the time when I'm running the group buys. I think we're going to run a group buy early this year. It's probably going to be mid-January, with the aim to ship shortly after Chinese New Year. It really depends on what price I get quoted at that point. But they're usually somewhere between £25 and £30, depending on the size of plate file that you need. We'll try and keep it like a set fee or something like that, and that includes VAT. So somewhere between 25 to 30 quid. Probably that sort of range. We'll see. What keycaps to poll then? Right. Okay. Yeah. So we know. Well, let's run the poll, and while the poll's running, I'll put the keyboard case together. and Truman Omar's going to set up the kind of poll. So for keycaps choice, guys, when we put the board together, once we put the board together, you're going to have a choice of GMK 9009, GMK Wild, GMK Modo Light, and then finally one that I haven't opened as yet, which is GMK Hammerhead, and this is the dark kit. So there you go. Those are the choices. I don't have an SA option, and the reason I don't have an SA option is because I don't have an SA keycap set to hand at the workshop at the minute. So there you go. Those are the choices today. There will be a poll up in just a moment. Okay, I'm going to put this big piece of foam in here as well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drop that nice big bit of foam on the back, just like so. And then we're just going to bob this into place. And then we should be able to screw this together. And whilst I do that, I think Truman's getting the... There you go. What keycaps polls up? I'm going to put my vote in as well. There we go. Let's see what you guys go for. Whilst you guys do that, I'm just going to get this all lined up, ready to screw down. Or I will do it if I can. There we go. Oh yeah, Hammerhead. Hammerhead's a good set. I only got it in just before Christmas, which is why it's not in a tub yet. I haven't even opened it. Okay, so I'm just going to put the screws in here, just gently, just thumb them in, basically, and then we'll adjust these finally once the full case is screwed together. Thanks for being here, man. Gent, I hope you have a good rest of your night, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. MT3 would have been good. I do have an MT3 set here, but I wasn't sure if MT3... it's Susu Atari. I don't think it'll go with this particular case. Okay, so we've just put those screws in. We haven't tightened them up, so there is still a bit of movement in here. This will move around, but that's by design, so that when we put the case together and we screw this together, we can make sure it's all nice and evenly centered. There we go. Oh, don't forget the USB cable. No, you're right. No channel points rigging feels bad. You can rig it as well if you want. That's fine. Yeah, we need to put the USB cable in. I forgot about that. So let's do that now. There we go. Okay. Is that going to have enough room to reach? I'm not sure it does. It'll be fine. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. You have a ton of point lefts? Go for it. I see some people using logic to try and inspire other people's votes here for which keycap set gets chosen. I think that's completely acceptable. Oh man, this is really tight. The One King Elero, thank you so much for the Prime subscription. There we go. Let's screw this down. There we go. Okay, now that the cables in place. We can now screw the case together. When you're signing off, have fun, my dear, and catch you soon. Later, all. See you later, Mel. Take care. I'll see you in a couple of days. If I can't rig with my points, I'll rig the hearts and minds. Nice. Hammerhead Dark is not going to do that powder coat justice. Well, we'll go with whatever chat chooses. Wonder what the LED strips are for. The LED strips, if you want to have like LEDs and backlight on this, which I don't particularly. I don't feel like it will do the board any justice, so we're not going to do that. Yeah, let's do that, Omar. Let's redo. Get rid of GMK Wild and GMK Modo Light, and see which wins out of just Hammerhead Dark and 9009 together. Yeah, let's do that. That's a good idea. Yeah, so Hammerhead won that one, but let's just repoll. I will allow rigging with bits only. Yeah, with rigging. We're turning rigging on, so you guys can rig. Cool. Okay, we're getting there now, guys. We're getting there. Last screw to put the case together. Just normal rigging. Yeah, just normal rigging. So, poll incoming with rigging enabled for keycap decisions. There we go. So now the only thing left to do is tighten up these 4 screws once we know we've got the switches and plate in a position that we're comfortable with. And we'll do that after we put caps on. So that's going to be the last step of things that we do. Here we go. How cool is this? How cool is this so far? It looks so good. Not a lot of rigging. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, you can use the LED strips that we talked about before. You can use these to provide underglow down the sides. If you look, they're cut exactly for the size of the width of the case. Personally, I wouldn't want to use them. I don't feel like all boards would have that feature, so we're not going to use them. Eventually, you'll be able to buy t-shirts with points, but not yet. Like, that's something that's coming. Looks smaller than the pictures. I mean, it's 60%, so I mean, it's pretty big. It is pretty big. Like, I could probably grab another 60% at some point to show you guys comparatively. It's pretty chunky, but yeah, it's super cool. Super, super cool. 9009 knocks Hammerhead out of the park. Well, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Rigging is enabled now. What about the proto caps? The proto keycaps? Yeah, you'll be able to buy those with points at some point soon as well. The only thing you won't get is shipping. You'll have to pay for shipping, but you'll be able to buy them with points effectively. You'll be able to trade them for points, let's put it that way. It's like if you've got an order and you've got X amount of channel points, you can trade that for a code that will give you a free PC keycap. Should have a real drawer on the back for snacks. It's so cool. It's just so cool. Little handle. That's super fun. I have one of your nice shirts. I need those keycaps rigged much more. I have black and white on my Saturn, but this might change my mind if I want to swap to 9009. Yeah, let's see how it comes out. Let's see how it comes out. I will do some zoomed in ASMR for when we peel the stickers off of the labels as well. Okay, so 9009 won by a country mile there. So let's zoom in and put these keycaps on the board. How cool is this? It's just such a cool thing. And I'm already throwing keycaps on the floor. There we go. In Pterodactyl, thank you so much for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Okay, we can decide on accents later on. But there will be some choices for accent keys. Probably get these here ready. Those are the 3 potential ISO enters we could use. Let's work out what the rest of the board's going to look like. I think green and pink accents would fit best now. There we go. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it looks. Vintage style board, gotta have vintage style caps. I completely get that. I completely approve. I think you guys have chosen relatively well here. Blue Toggles, thank you so much for the 25 bits, man. I really appreciate that. Made me jump a little bit. I wasn't expecting the announcement, but thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate that. Just going through the caps one by one, dropping anything in here that we don't need. And we'll see how it goes. And you guys, as I say, can pick the accents in a few moments' time. Any accents that we can pick from, I'll bob to one side. Yeah. Oh man. Is that 1.5? Needs a little boxed off case to go into it, like a briefcase. Yeah, like a briefcase that just fills up that area. That'd be quite cool. You could do it with magnets, I bet. I think green and pink accents would look good together. Yeah, we'll see. I've been using keyboard for 23 years and I still can't remember the layout by heart. I know the layout, but that's because I build a keyboard every week. You kind of get used to it after a while. I think, is that the right profile for that? No. I just wanted to see if that was the right profile for that row. I didn't think it was. Come on. There we go. Oh, maybe I'll use it. We'll see. Maybe a laser cutting stream to make a briefcase for it. We could look at that. Yeah, I mean, we will have some laser cutting streams coming soon. Very soon, actually, within the next couple of weeks. So I'm sure we could work that out. Okay, some more choices here for additional accent keycaps. I feel like we're running out of keycaps here. I hope we've got enough. Just feels like the pile's getting really small and not all of the keys are covered yet. Have we got keys missing here? It feels like there's not enough keys here. Okay, so we've missed out this key. That key must be in here somewhere. I don't want to put a control there. There must be like a one new super key. Okay, now we've got to try and find that key. We've got alt keys, we've got everything else, but I don't see a super key in 1U. Oh, maybe we'll just put a code there. We'll just put a code there. That'll do. Wait, that's the wrong profile. We won't put that there. We won't put that there. It's the wrong profile. Dude, it's ISO 2. Yeah, man. Like, most of my boards are ISO. I'm from the UK. I build in ISO if I can. Not all of my boards support it, but I try and use ISO wherever I can do. There it is. There's the badger. There's the badger. Right. Okay, so now we're done with the build, apart from 2 accent keys. Threx, hey man, good to see you. I've tried Workman for a little bit. I struggled with it. It's there, code. The code one was the wrong profile. Any idea when we might be seeing the Matrix Marathon? Towards the end of this month, because I'm waiting on 3 more boards to arrive. There isn't a list as yet, CMG11, no. But there will be a list towards the back end of this week, I think. They'll go live on the 7th. Poland accents? No, we'll just see how chat votes. Right, chat. Which enter and which escape? You can't have the same for both. So pick an enter and pick an escape key that you want to see. Let's see what you guys come out with. Let's call them salmon, green, and beige. Salmon, green, and beige. Let's see what you guys say. ISO is the way. 100%. 100%. Beige enter, salmon escape. Green escape, salmon enter. Green escape and red salmon enter. Beige escape, salmon enter. Both salmon. People seem to be going for the salmon enter. Let's go for the salmon enter. I feel like that's going to look quite good. I feel like that's what people are mainly suggesting. That does look quite good. Let's go for the green escape. Salmon enter and green escape. I'm not feeling the green. The green doesn't quite go. It's like the wrong shade of green. So I think we either go with beige or salmon. Let's go both salmon. I'm pretty happy with that. Double salmon. Yeah, double salmon I think. The green just doesn't quite go. Like, it's just the wrong shade. Like, it's really hard to show you. But it's just slightly off and it just doesn't look right. Double salmon. Right, last thing we need to do is now we just need to adjust where this is screwed in on the inside, because we've got a thicker gap here. The sides look good. The sides look pretty even, but the top of the board just needs to come away from the case a little bit. So we're just going to make sure it's all even as we look down. Make sure nothing's going to catch. I think that's pretty much where we want it. I'm just looking straight down, making sure everything's even here. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to tighten those screws up on the base. Just one at a time, just make sure that everything stays where it should do. I felt that move as I tightened that screw up, so let's undo that. Okay, let's try that again. One screwed in. I'm going to go diametrically opposed. I'm going to do the second screw here. That way we're going to keep the rigidity we need. Just do one final check. Looks pretty even all the way around. There's a gap there. And we're going to tighten the last two screws up. There we go. And next, we're going to peel off the label here. There we go. And we're going to peel off the label here as well. If I can get to it. Okay, I can't actually seem to pick this up. This is really, really tight to the... There we go. There we go. And here we're going to peel this. There we go. And there we go, guys. There is the Saturn 60 with GMK 9009 and built with Zaku switches. Your watch sort of makes a vintage look at the board. Nice combo. Yes, this is a vintage Amiga. It's in a vintage Amiga duel. It's kind of got a little bit of scuff on the crystal, but it's from 1967 is this watch. It's a nice watch. So there we go. There's the board all built. It's pretty cool, right? What do you guys think to the look? Thanks, man. I have a thing for vintage watches. I have a few vintage Amigas. Anyone ever wondered what the GR in Alt GR stands for? It stands for Alt Graph or Alt Grave, depending on where you're from, but Graph is usually the meaning for it. And it's actually to select tertiary legends. Sometimes if you have a tertiary legend on a cap here, you can use Alt GR for that. You'd like to see a brown SA set on this? I'm thinking brown or beige and brown HSA when it arrives. So I think that will go well on here. Where'd you look for vintage watches? Been looking for one for a while. I have a friend who buys and sells them. He has a company in London, and he buys and sells vintage watches. So I usually go to him. I have like 5 or 6 vintage Amigas, and I've just recently bought a Breitling as well. So yeah, there we go. That's the board built. How cool does that look, guys? It just looks and feels like a proper vintage keyboard, right? Look at that side profile. All this cool construction. USB-C. Oh, we've missed some case screws. We could put some more case screws in the back. Don't think we have the screws for that though. No, I probably have some that will fit actually. I do have these. These should fit nicely. Let's just pop these in just to just to hold it all together a little bit tighter. I have a lot of vintage Cherry keyboards, maybe 100 or so. Big fan of vintage Cherry stuff. Okay, these screws don't match exactly the other ones, but they're pretty close. And you can't really tell from here that they're any different. But yeah, just 3 more screws just to finish it off nicely. I kind of like it with the handle out. I think it just looks cool with the handle out like that. How cool does that look? I'm just so happy with this. Yeah, I've got 100 or so vintage Cherry boards. I've probably got 350-ish keyboards in my collection, something like that. Maybe I don't know. I don't have an accurate count for you, but I've got quite a lot of keyboards in my collection. Right, shall we see how this sounds? I think it's going to be quite loud, so let's bear that in mind. Let me pause the music for a second, and we'll see how this sounds up close. I'll drop the microphone down, and you can see what it sounds like. I'm hoping it sounds good, but we'll see. Quite thocky. Well, I think I'm pretty happy with that. For a vintage board, that sounds way better than I was expecting it to. Well, for a vintage style board, for this kind of board, I was expecting it to have like super hollow sounds. Yeah, like that foam does a really amount of solid work. That foam is really cool. I'm super happy with this. I'm going to keep this on my desk for a week or two and just try this out. I'm super happy with this. This is so cool and so fun. It looks great. It feels great. That's so cool. Yeah, that it sounds really nice given how empty this case should be. I was expecting it to sound like the HMKB boards, which sound not great, but this sounds really good. Like, it works really well. 205 grade, 2 on the stabilizers harsher. I think if I didn't put the foam inside, I think it would have to be built with clickies. Someone mentioned clickies. I agree. How the stabs are good. So, I mean, in terms of feel, these stabs don't feel any different. Oh, we've got a slight issue here. Look, okay, so we've got a slight issue with the stabilizer on here. We've got a popping issue. Okay, so we have to balance it on the stabilizer quite nicely. If we hit that too hard at one side, we're going to have an issue. That's the first thing. So it feels like the stabilizer's not quite holding on to it. Like, it's going to be fine in normal typing, but it's like just something to be aware of. But other than that, on the 2U caps, the stabilizers feel really good. Like, really neat, really crisp, really even. There's no wobble with them. Like, you have to think, Draconic Vision, that this is a case that's basically empty, made of rolled steel, and then powder coated. It shouldn't sound good at all. Like, there's no combination that should sound good with this other than clickies, and yet it does sound good. It sounds reasonably good. I think for that, it's pretty well done. Is it a banana spacebar? No, I've used this keyset on a number of different boards in the past. It's not a banana spacebar. This is not a new keyset. This is an old keyset. It's been used a number of times. It's a stab wire keycap, so it's the keycap. The stab wires are in place. Like, if the Y was the issue, it wouldn't be returning on this side now. So it's definitely a stabilizer issue. There are no cracks in the keycap. It's difficult to show you, but there's no cracks in the keycap. The stabilizer's in place correctly. The switch is in place correctly. We just have an issue whereby it's not grabbing hold correctly. It's only an issue on the spacebar. It's not the stem on the cap that's cracked. I think it's the stabilizer itself. Let's just out of interest, let's grab another stabilizer. Sorry, another spacebar. Let's see if we have the issue with another spacebar. Okay, it is the spacebar then that's the issue, but it's not cracked. I don't know why that's holding like that, but it's not cracked. But this spacebar, no issues. So it is definitely a spacebar issue. I'm not quite sure what's causing that. I do have more than one set of 9009, so I can grab another spacebar and use that. It could be the long pole switch stem. I think maybe it's just an old keycap set, because this is a really old keycap set. I've had this for 3 or 4 years. Maybe I've just added it and removed it to too many different keyboards, and it's just become loose. We can always put a little bit of plastic over the stab ends just to hold it in place, but it's fine as long as we don't press on it too hard. Like, it's fine. It works just fine. Yeah, I've put some plastic cling over them before. I actually have some specific cling that I laser cut. It's like a thin vinyl that I use specifically for this with vintage keycaps. So yeah, clean it. Nothing to clean. It's fine. Try a third spacebar for science. No, it's definitely the spacebar that's the issue. Get the GMK Wild spacebar. Is that the same color? Oh, the Modo Light one won't match. Is the GMK Wild one the same? Let's have a look. I don't think these are the same color. Like, it's going to be mod colored then, look. I don't even think we have a spacebar in that color, is it? Do we even have a spacebar in that color? Wild doesn't seem to have beige spacebars. It only seems to have green, red, and grey. So, yeah. There is not a salmon accent spacebar in my set, no. There may well be in other kits, but I don't have it. It's fine. I have another set of 9009. I have a load of OG spacebars. I'll figure something out. It's fine. But yeah, I'll cut some vinyl for it on the laser cutter when I'm back in the workshop, and we'll fix it that way. We'll just be sad at the minute. There's nothing to be sad around. It's fine. It works fine. Wild green looks nicer on this board than 9009 green. Yeah, it does. Actually, that green does work really well. But you guys didn't pick GMK Wild. You picked 9009, so we didn't use Wild. The red works quite well with it as well. Huffing copium. Yeah, just deal with it, guys. Just deal with it. Just deal with it. But there we go. That's a 760 build, guys. Super, super happy with that. Just look how cool this thing is. Like, it's just super cool. Off, redo, redo, redo. Like, if 10 people say redo in the next minute, then we'll put GMK Wild in instead. But it needs 10 people to say it. It's so cool as this board. I'm going to give it a polish and get rid of the fingerprints later, but I'm super happy with it. Oh, you guys, there's not going to be 10 of you to say it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's not going to be 10. you guys happy now? Are you happy? Are you guys happy? My word, guys. What are you like? What are you like? Like, this, do you know what, right? This is your fault. This is all of chat's fault. Because you could have just picked GMK Wild in the first place. You could have just picked that keycap set to begin with. But no, you had to pick Hammerhead, and then you didn't want Hammerhead, so we redid the poll. Then you all picked 9009, and now you guys think that Wild would be a better fit. I see how this is. This is a conspiracy theory against me. Oh, it'll be funny to make Jay do the keycaps again. Yay, let's do that. We picked wrong on purpose. I see how it is, guys. I'm not daft. I see how it is. I see how it goes. Yeah, I'll find out his I can't remember the name of his store. I'll dig it out and I'll let you know. You want GMK later on it? I don't have later. I don't think GMK later is a set. No, it's supposed to be funny. Alera. It's supposed to be funny. I don't mind, really. We are not redoing switches. I am not desoldering this board to redo it. That is not happening, Crafted Cables. Go make me some cables. I don't know what for, but just go on. Go do that. Keep yourself entertained. I didn't think 10 people would actually be on board with it. Sienta, I didn't think 10 people would do it. We're not doing alpacas on this board. We're not doing clickers on this board. The keycaps will get changed. The switches won't. How many redos do we need for a redo of switches? 10,000. 10,000 individual unique redos. And we will redo switches. These are Zaku switches in the board right now. Don't make me bot you. Even if you did, I don't think you could get 10,000. We can do a channel with 100k points. I want to see pictures of your JR1 crafted cables when you finish building it. Sacred Fighter, if you send me those switches, I will build a board with them, but you'll have to build them. If you give me the switches, I'll build a board with them. But I don't have all the parts for those switches to hand, I don't think. I have got a fair amount of switches in my personal collection, but I don't have all the bits for that. Thanks, I'm glad it's making you happy. Oh, I need to build my Jane. I got another Jane V2 CE just before Christmas. I think it's the second or third one I've got. And I got another Jane prototype just before Christmas as well. So I need to build both of those at some point. Right. As punishment, you guys don't get to pick any accents. I'm going to pick the accents that we use. And you guys can just deal with that. Let's flip over the camera. Quirtle Keys, thank you so much for the follow, man. I really appreciate that. Jason Salty. It's all a game. It's a game. I'm playing salty. I'm not really salty. Let's move this back. There we go. We'll consider changing the enter. We don't need that. Oh, I forgot that we could use some cool. Ah, that was one gift sub. Thank you very much for crafted cables. Thank you so much. Man with glove. There you go. Thank you so much, Cap, for crafted cables. I really appreciate that. That was so loud. Why was that so loud? I thought I'd changed the volumes for that. thought I changed the volume for it. I could have sworn I changed the volume for that. Perhaps I didn't. Perhaps I didn't. I'll have a look at it later on. Was not ready for that jump scare. Yeah, I need to change the volumes. I thought I changed all of the volumes earlier on, but apparently I hadn't. Do you know what? We're going to go for text here and then novelties here if we can, because why not? Why not? Whoops. I hope I didn't need that key. I've just thrown a keycap on the floor. Oh well, it's one keycap. I'm sure we didn't need it. Keep that out. Why? Oh, LSBs. I was going to say, why is it two B's? Then I realised it's the LSB. Oh man, I'd forgotten that there was some cool legends on this. We're just going to try and shove all the cool legends we can in it. Because why not? Why not? Okay, you guys preferring this already? You guys prefer this out? You do like the shine through caps? Yeah, I'm a big fan of those. Thank you very much, Afternoon Delight. Appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. I'm just going to try and have some fun with these keys now because there's so many different novelties in this set that we're just going to try and have some fun with it. How cool is that? The little dog. That's so cool. $9009 with wild accents. The 9009 did look better. Well, you guys changed it. You guys all voted for me to change it, so we changed it. Whoops. Come on. There we go. Okay, we're getting there now. We're getting there. I do like this keycap set though, it is nice. Oh, how cool is that? I forgot that that was in there. I'm probably going to change that. There are some really cool caps and some cool legends in this set. I'd forgotten just how good this set was. Although, I haven't found the shift for this side of the board yet. Just slightly concerning me. Okay. So many good keys are in this set. Like, look at this one, 66 root. Route 66, super cool. Oh, you got the deer head? Just really cool, just super cool keycaps. $900 with wild accents. Well, I'm afraid, guys, we're not changing it again. What you've chosen here is how the board's going to stay for today, at the very least. Okay, I must have put some keys back in there without realizing that I needed them, because we've definitely got some missing here. I think we've definitely got that shift key missing. We'll find it. We'll find it. Okay. Right, okay, so we've missed the shift somewhere. We'll check for that in a second. I'm going to leave that as it is, but I'm going to change that backspace for the endurance. By endurance we conquer one. There we go. Such a cool keycap set. Redo. No, Matrix Labs did design this. Yeah, so they have Matrix Labs since 2015, if you can see that. Matrix Lab since 2015. But yeah, look at these cool novelties. Wild Enter, Caravan, the Dog, the Camping, By Endurance We Conquer, the Flames. So many just super cool caps in this set. Right, we just need to find that shift key now. I must have put it away without realizing. Either that or it doesn't have a 1.75 shift, in which case we are bummed. Okay. I'm not seeing it. Was it the cap I dropped? There it is. There it is. We found it. I return with coffee. I think you think it looked better with 9009. Yeah, we're not redoing it now. You've had the redo, guys. You guys have used one redo on this already. I'm gonna stick with this colorway now. I'm not changing it again. Kiwi Kang says well done. So stubborn. 100%. 100%. There we go. So this is the second build on this board. This is with GMK Wild on the Saturn 60. I think this works quite well. I don't think it's a bad looking set on here. We've had one redo, yes, but what about second redo? The black alphas with the badge. Yeah, it looks nice, right? Does the spacebar work with the set? Yeah. I don't think he knows about second redo. I love the references, guys. Nice. That's pretty cool. I don't think this looks bad by any means whatsoever. And we'll keep it like this for now. This is the first time this set's ever been on a board as well. What is the key next to left shift for? So in an ISO layout, this would usually be pipe and backslash on UK ISO. For this one, it's just the standard kind of tertiary, the standard generic kind of ISO layout. In Germany, they use this key in ISO DE. It's just the two chevrons. So yeah, it's just to get ISO coverage, and pipe backslash keys here, but we'll actually follow UK layout. And when you type, it will actually give you the hash tilde and the pipe backslash. So that's the difference. So there we go. What if it looks better with Hammerhead? Tough, you'll never find out. You will never find out. What keyset is this? This keyset is GMK Wild. We did put GMK 9009 on it, and everyone told me it looked wrong, so we changed for Wild, and now they're telling me it looks worse, and it should go back to 9009. But hey. I'm on ISO Norda. Yeah, Norda. Well, it depends. Norda's like multiple different languages. A Norda kit can have Norwegian and German in it, as well as potentially some other keys as well. So Norda's not one specific language. It's just a combination pack of different keys for different ones. You don't speak ISO. Nice. Nice. What keyboard am I currently using? This is a Juby. If you do the keyboard command, you'll see that's the Juby with GMK Retro Arabic on it. So, yeah. 9009 with wild mods. Yeah, that'd work. That would work quite well. GMK Necro would match. GMK Necro is one of the few GMK sets I don't have. But yeah. Retro Arabic, yeah, I liked it so much I bought 3 sets of it. It was in stock on Z Frontier about a year ago, so I bought 3 sets of it before it sold out. I gave one to a friend and I've kept 2, and I'll never sell them because it's my favorite keycap set, or one of them. It's like huge. It's high up there for me. It's high up there for me. The heat shrink on the GB cable is grim. It's like it's not a cable for the Juby, it's just a random cable I have lying around. So it's like, yeah, it's just one that gets used an awful lot, so don't look into that particularly. It's not the one that came with the Juby. It's the same as the one on this here. That's just how it came. It's been like that. I've been using those 2 cables for maybe 4 years now. So yeah, I do have some really nice cables with some black Limo connectors on as well that I do use, but yeah. The handle's super cool, yeah. The handle's really cool. Big fan of that. There's plenty of Arabic sets out there now, Trumanoma. There's plenty of Arabic sets out there. I don't need more nice cables. I've got loads of nice cables. Look at this. So this was sent to me by a friend. They made this to match GMK Midnight Rainbow. It's got like sparkles built into it with and what you call it, connector, aviator connector, and then I also have some black Limo cables with Limo connectors made by Pexon. So I don't need any nicer cables. This is just what I have. I mean, you've got to remember this is a workshop, guys. This isn't like my home office setup. This is a workshop. So these are official Limo connectors. These are all made by Pexon, and I have like a coil for that as well that I can use if I want to. So yeah. I've got plenty of cables. I must have 100 cables. Like, I've got a drawer full of them that I just can't use. So yeah, my phone's ringing. No, it's my wife. I'll call her back in a minute. Right, guys, now we're at the point of the stream where it's time to find someone to raid because we finished the build. So let's have a look on Twitch, see who's live and streaming, and see who we're going to raid. Let's see who is live in Makers and Crafting. Any suggestions on who we can raid, who's doing keyboard stuff, guys? Disastertron's live. We could raid Disastertron. I think Disastertron's the only one I can see that is live. Staebies are going to be in stock on the 7th. Staebies will be in stock on the 7th. Pexon's a great friend of mine. Like, Pexon and I go way back. We've been friends for years. He's a really nice guy. He owes me a bear hug when I see him. So yeah. Yeah. Code and Coffee is live. Nice. Staebies are coming to Prototypist on the 7th. Yeah, they're all in the workshop. I just need to list them. I'm back in the workshop on the 5th, but they'll get listed on the 7th. We'll have TX Stabs in a few weeks. We'll also have Alpaca Stabilizers in a few weeks. And we'll have, on the 7th as well, we should have Owl Lab Stabilizers as well. So yeah, they'll all be in stock relatively soon. Right, let's raid Disastertron. Let's tell him we love him because he's such a nice guy. I like to watch Disastertron stream, so let's tell him he's such a nice guy. Come back and check us out later on. I'll be streaming a few times this week. I'm aiming to do some workshop streams this week as well, playing on the new laser cutter, making some stuff as well. Yeah, the liquid stabs from Outlabs. Yes, I'll have those in hopefully by the 7th as well. I think they're going to get delivered on the 5th, I think, looking at tracking. So they should be in stock on the 7th as long as they arrive before then. If not, they'll be in stock shortly after. So yeah. But let's go raid Disastertron. Let's tell him we love him. Check back here in a couple of days because on Tuesday I'll be doing a workshop stream, all being well. Sorry, no. Yes, next Tuesday I'll be doing a workshop stream. I'll try and do one on Friday as well. There'll be some Lego build streams coming up soon as well. And also keyboard build streams every Sunday as well. So there we go. They should be with you shortly, Jay. What should be? Dark Fox Labs. What should be? What should be? The Owl Labs ones? I think so, yeah. I haven't checked tracking for a day or two. But yeah, I haven't checked tracking for a day. I think I posted the tracking publicly actually, so you might be able to check that and see yourself. But as soon as they arrive, they'll be lifted. Right, guys, let's start the raid, and yeah, I'll be back on stream in a couple of days. Check out Instagram over the next couple of days as well because that's going to start to get quite busy with stories because it's going to be a busy year. But right, thanks very much, guys. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.
Hey,